I don't like people who try to sneak into clubs they didn't pay to get into. If you ever hosted a party, you've gone to a VIP party in your life, or you've ever gone to something like it's a really big, and people have earned their way in. The guy that tries to sneak into places that he hasn't earned his way in infuriates me. And I'm not a big party guy. I don't like parties. I'm not into them. I'm kind of a socially, my wife and I go out. We're not big party people. We just got invited to some big wine thing last night, and we're like, nah, it's not us. We like to hang out with each other, and we're very chill with a small group of friends. So, but the times I've been invited to parties and I've had opportunities, nothing ticks me off more when some guy that's not qualified tries to sneak in. At least earn your way into the cool places in life. And then, again, if you have miles, sit in first class. If you're a business guy, sit in first class. Don't sit there if you haven't earned it, didn't pay for it, because everybody else in first class has paid for it. Like, you ever go to a baseball game and you go down and you sit in a really good seat and the guy's in your seat and you're like, dude, these are my seats. And you're like, oh, okay. He's sneaking into your seats. He paid $1 for the seats. He wants to sit in the $100 seats. I hate guys like that. Iowa football all year whined about, we deserve this and we deserve that. And all year long, I said with Iowa football, you've got no NFL players. Okay, look at the NFL draft this weekend. Clemson had 9 guys drafted in the NFL draft and had 2 other players that decided to stay in school, or they would have had 11. Alabama had 7 guys drafted and had 3 different players stay in school, or they would have had 10 drafted. Ohio State had 12 players drafted, 5 of the first 21 picks, Ohio State. These are teams, in my opinion, as I said last year, that deserve to be in the final 6 or 8. All year I said, watch. Iowa's going to play a couple good teams at the end of the year. They'll sneak their way into a bowl game that they don't deserve to be in. What happened in the Rose Bowl? That game was over in 5 minutes. Weren't they down 35-0 at one point to Stanford? They had humiliated themselves. They don't have NFL players. I mean, they have 1 or 2 or 3. They're not at Alabama. They're not in Ohio State. They're not at Clemson. Let's save the big boy games for the big boy programs. So, how many people did Iowa have drafted this weekend? 1. Deep in the 7th round. So when I kept saying all year, I don't care what your record is. I have eyeballs. You don't have the perimeter speed. You don't have the size and the depth. You don't have the skill people. Here's colleges that had more people drafted than Iowa this weekend. Louisiana Tech had 3 times as many. Western Kentucky and Temple had 3 times as many. South Carolina State, wherever that is, and North Dakota State had double the number of draftees as Iowa. And Iowa thinks they should be playing Alabama. You think you should be playing Alabama? You can't. Western Kentucky, a directional school. Kentucky football's no good. I can't imagine how bad Western Kentucky football is. And all you did is complain all year. And then when you finally got to a big bowl game, you got humiliated.